Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this video we'll take a look at soft links and hard links. Also we'll take a look at how we can get help from the system if we really needed to. Alright, so let's get started. Again, we logged in as John Doe. I cleaned up from the previous directory, previous lesson. So let's run this command. Let's say we create few files, then we put 2 ampersand sign. That basically says if the first commands are successful, then do the second portion of the command. Okay, so let's say if we run it. Alright, what it will do is it will create file 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it will create directory 1 and directory 2. Okay, the other way to do this command is, let's say if we do, for example, let's say pipe, and let's say this time I'll say 3 because we already created directory 1 and 2. So let's create directory 3 and 4, and let's say we'll call this one 8, this is 7, let's say this is 6, and let's say this is 5. None of them exist. So let's say if we run this command, let's see what happens. Alright, no complaint. So what this does is, this says that if the first part of the command is successful, then don't do the next part. If the first part of the command is not successful, then do the rest of the ones. Alright, so since the first part of the command was successful, that's why it didn't create a directory 3 and 4. Alright, so we can see here file 5, 6, 7 and 8. Okay, so do some practice on that. Alright, but over here we would like to see how the link works. What is a link? Alright, so let's say we have file 1. Now let's say we'd like to link file 1 to file 11. So let's say ln-s file 1 file 11. Alright, so what happens? Okay, as we can see here, file 11 exists and file 1 is still there. Alright, ln ls-ltr, as you can see, file 11 is a linked file to file 1. Alright, if we do ls-i, okay, as you can see, the inode number of file 11 is 1776212. If we look at the file 1 inode number, which is 1776203, which is completely different. Okay, now let's create a link between file 2 and file 12, a hard link. So ln file 2 and file 12. Okay, as you can see here, file 2 is there, file 12 is there. Doesn't show a link, right? But this one does. Alright, let's check ls-i. We saw the inodes for file 1 and file 11, but look at the inode for file 2 and file 12, wherever there is. See, this is completely identical. Alright, so let's say if we do echo, this is a test for soft link, and let's append it to file 1. Okay, as we know, file 1 is linked to file 11. Okay, now let's do alright, now let's do hard link, and this time we'll append it to, let's say, file 2. let's call this one as okay, whatever that is. So let's do ls-ltr file1 and file2. all right, so if we open up file1, it does say this is a test for soft link. Now let's open file 11. So it's the same thing, but we did append the information to file 1. Now let's open the file 2. This is a test for hard link. Let's open file 12. okay, same thing. So basically soft link and hard link, both of them does create a link to another file or directory. We'll take a look at the directory very soon. But the hard links are basically, it looks two distinct files, and both of them share the same inode number, as you can see. Now let's delete, let's say, file 2. okay, let's see what happens to file 12. okay, file 12 still does exist, and it looks like a completely different file. okay, it has no effect. Now let's remove the file 1. Let's take a look at what happened to file 11. Look at this, it became red. It basically shows it's like an orphan. all right, see, it says that this used to be linked to file 1. Since this one doesn't exist, so this one status is, let's open file 11. okay, see, it says no such file directory. all right, even though we can see it here, because without this one doesn't exist. 11 doesn't exist, but 12, the hard link one, doesn't have any effect. all right, so let's create a link between the directories. So we have a directory called dir3. so let's ln-s dir3, let's say to dir30. all right, ls-l. see, we have dir3. do we have dir3 before? No, that's why both of them. okay, let's remove. we have directory 1, so let's link this one, ln-s dir1 dir, let's say 10. okay, ls-ltr. sure enough, as you can see, dir1 is linked to directory 1. now let's do ln dir2 to dir20. okay, see, it is not allowed. A hard link is not allowed for directories. all right, okay, now also in this video we'd like to see how we can get some help from the system. So we already saw man ls or man anything. For example, let's say man sa linux. okay, man, let's say firewall -cmd. all right, also we can see ls user share info, that has some information in there. all right, also user share doc. okay, it has lots of directories, and if you go to any of those directories, there are man pages, docs, and lots of stuff. all right, so let's see what else we are supposed to see in here. So inshallah, I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.